We've got breaking news to get to here. President Trump has issued a big crackdown on Russia in reaction to this nerve agent attack in the UK. This being issued just moments ago, the president ordering expulsion of 60 Russian diplomats and the closure of the Russian consulate in Seattle. Kevin Corke is live from the White House with the latest on these details and what we are learning now. Kevin?
Yeah, you know, I was actually, Sandra, just taking a look at some of my notes and making sure that I had all the relevant information to give the folks at home. The administration telling us they're taking this action in conjunction with other allies. As you pointed out, they want to make certain that the Russians know that their actions have consequences. This, of course, coming after that nerve agent attack. The administration telling us not long ago that the actions make us safer. It also reduces Russia's ability to spy on U.S. operations, announcing the closure of a diplomatic office in Seattle. The statement that we just got says, with these steps, the U.S. and its allies will make clear to Russia that their actions have consequences. And now, though we also stand ready to cooperate with Russia, but that can only happen with a change in Russia's behavior. Now, we actually expected this to happen, Sandra. We were talking about it over the weekend as we joined the president down in Mar-a-Lago. They were very tight-lipped about the possibility of exactly how this would play out. Keep in mind, there are a number of stakeholders that have to be a party to this conversation. The State Department, the White House, and obviously national security folks have to be involved. But as you pointed out, dozens of Russian diplomats have been expelled. They will have, by the way, about 1 week to get out of this country, Sandra.
48 are at the Russian embassy, 12 are at the UN, and the White House noting, Kevin, that the closure of that Seattle facility, not due to any specific threat there, but due to the proximity to one of our submarine bases, as well as Boeing, of course.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Kevin, how concerned is the White House this morning about the impact tariffs will have on its biggest selling point, this strong economy?
Well, let's just put it this way.
Meanwhile, Kevin, how concerned is the White House this morning about the impact tariffs will have on its biggest selling point, this strong economy?
Well, let's just put it this way. There was a massive sell-off on the market late last week because of the idea of these rumors of a possible trade war with China in particular. But if you take a look at the Dow futures, I love talking business with you because I know this is right in your wheelhouse. You take a look at the Dow futures, Sandra, and you can see that there is a reaction that's building now in the positive territory because there's conversation. And that's really what White House officials have been saying for quite some time. This is about leveraging and getting a conversation. We're looking for reciprocal trade rates. The president, meanwhile, was very strong in his opposition to that big omnibus that we talked about last week as well. So we've got tariffs, we've got the omnibus. A lot of people in Washington very upset that he ultimately decided to sign it. Listen to his explanation for why he did it and for why he'll never do it again.
To prevent the omnibus situation from ever happening again, I'm calling on Congress to give me a line item veto for all government spending bills.
Now, Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, was on Fox News Sunday. You may have heard him say in reaction to the president's line about a line item veto, it is unconstitutional. Chris Wallace making that point very clear. But what he was saying more broadly is Congress has to do a better job, Sandra. Give the president something more specific so he can continue to do the work of the American people. Another busy Monday here at the White House. Back to you.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the futures right now, up 280 points, pointing to a significantly higher open on Wall Street this morning. A different look than we saw in the last couple trading days of last week. Kevin Corke, thank you. Kevin Corke at the White House for us.
Got another Fox News alert now out of Saudi Arabia. Moments ago, the kingdom saying it intercepted a barrage of ballistic missiles targeting its capital overnight from neighboring Yemen to the south. One man is dead, 2 others wounded in the latest attack in Connor Powell. Watching this from our Middle East Bureau. What happened this time, Connor?
Yeah, Bill, the Saudis say those missiles were fired by Yemen's Houthi rebels. These Iranian-linked militants are battling Saudi Arabia for control of Yemen. And this attack just marks the 3rd time in the last 6 months or so that missiles have been fired at the Saudi capital, Riyadh. And Saudi Arabia says it shot down all 7 missiles that were fired overnight, but fragments did kill 1 person and wounded 2 others. The attack comes on the 3rd anniversary that the Saudi-led Gulf Arab coalition launched launch military operations against the Houthis in Yemen. It also comes as the Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, is in the U.S. trying to shore up support for the Saudi-led war in Yemen. The conflict in Yemen has killed more than 10,000 people and is a humanitarian disaster. More than 8 million people are on the verge of starvation. The U.S. is a major supplier of weapons to Saudi Arabia and is involved in the war in Yemen with advisors on the ground there in Saudi Arabia. But a bipartisan effort bill in Congress by both Democrats and Republicans are trying to distance the U.S. from that war in Yemen and also limit some of the arms supplies. Of course, President Trump has developed a closer relationship with the Saudi Crown Prince as well. They see eye to eye on both Yemen and on Iran.
What a story that is developing. Thank you, Connor Powell, live in Jerusalem on all of that today.
Following this breaking news on a bold move out of the Trump administration this morning, 60 Russian diplomats kicked out of the country. And what does former U.S. Ambassador John Bolton on the president's team mean to his foreign policy? Much more on all this coming up. Plus this.
It felt like she was criticizing Missouri voters. I have great respect for Missouri voters, and there are a lot of reasons they voted for Donald Trump.
Well, Hillary Clinton taking a lot of heat from fellow Democrats for her recent comments on Trump voters. So what's the effect of that? Our panel will take it on. Coming up.
More California mayors pushing back against the sanctuary state law. Can they win in the courthouse? The mayor of the town that sparked the fight is live on the show later this hour.